Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Agnes Schwartz. I'm a Senior Marketing Manager at ESMT Berlin. And today I'm joined by my colleague from the admissions team, Admissions Manager Kathrin Haucke. So first, we would like to talk a little bit about the school, ESMT Berlin itself, move to the program presentation. I have a few slides for you about the full-time MBA program. Talk a little bit about its details, the next deadlines, a few application requirements and information for you. And then, yeah, we move to the Q&A bit. You will be able to address your questions to myself and Katrin. And yeah, you can ask anything that you find interesting. So here we go. Here in the first slide, you will see our beautiful building. This is the entrance of ESMT Berlin. We're pretty much in the heart of Berlin on the so-called Museum Island with a fantastic view to the TV tower. On the right corner, you will find all the organizations that accredited ESMT, and ESMT wears therefore the so-called triple crown, which is a pretty rare thing to have among business schools, and it puts the school to a very unique group of business schools with really high level quality assurance for sure. So this means that your diploma, your ESMT diploma, is basically recognized all over the world. ESMT was founded back in 2002 by these 25 founding companies that you can see on this slide. So basically, yes, the school was founded by business. The main idea came from the former CEO of Allianz back then. The idea to create a school, to have a program, an MBA program, finally in Germany. Before that, it was quite unique and not really well known within Germany. The whole concept of an MBA, it's a very American program, used to be. And now, yeah, we do have a fantastic program portfolio. The full MBA portfolio consists of 4 programs, but today we will focus only on the full-time MBA. 4 points why ESMT is a little bit different than other schools. We really stress these 4. I think this is what makes us definitely unique. The fact that we have a modern and relevant curricula in all of our programs. Being a relatively small school and young school and flexible school, it means that we can really answer better to modern world's needs, and that fact is also reflected in the program curricula. The second point is that the school has a very important and very strong international focus. So we have an international student body, we have international staff, and our faculty are coming from all over the world as well. Career transformation is a very important part of every MBA program, but especially in the full-time MBA, since most of the time people, students coming from far away to find employment in Berlin, in Germany, in Europe. They might come really from other continents even. So of course, career transformation and career support is very much stressed in the full-time MBA. We have a dedicated career development center team, and our colleagues are trained career coaches, so they will guide you throughout the 15 months of the full-time MBA program. The 4th point is just basically about the quality assurance that I've already mentioned, us being triple accredited, having a fantastic and world-class faculty. If you would like to meet them, that I would recommend to you to join sometimes our monthly MBA Bites webinars. This is where you can have a peek at the simple short lectures provided by our faculty members. About the full-time MBA, on the right side, you can see some brand new statistics. We just have a brand new class on campus. They started on the 6th of January. As you can see, their average age is around 32. There are 23 nationalities in the current cohort. 97% of them are internationals, and almost 60% of them are female students. And then you can see on the top, on the right-hand side, how different background they have. in terms of their industries that they represent in class. So the full-time MBA is a 15-month program. This is the shortest MBA program that we offer at ESMT. We have one intake per year. It's always January. And this is the only program where we also offer specialization, so-called tracks. One you can pick is the managerial analytics track or innovation entrepreneurship. There are three dedicated courses connected to these tracks, and these are running in parallel, so therefore you will be only able to pick one. The good thing about the curriculum in the full-time MBA is that during the summer options, there are many flexible options that you have. You can think about maybe doing an internship. You can stay in Berlin, you can stay in Germany, you can also go somewhere else if you would like to. It's a perfect opportunity to try yourself in a completely different industry or field where you don't have any experience yet, maybe. Then you can also join a previously called Social Impact Project, the Sustainability in Practice project, where you would be a pro bono consultant for an NGO or social enterprise or a company with a social impact goal. So this is a perfect way to try yourself as a consultant already during your studies. Then you can also pick up a German intense boot camp language course. We provide German classes in the full-time MBA in the evening, so you can already pick up something during your studies. And then you can also join our entrepreneurship hub, so-called Valley Berlin's Summer Entrepreneurship Program. If you have an idea that you would like to work on, if you have something interesting in mind, then don't hesitate to reach out to our colleagues because they are there to support you. To work on your own startup. There are plenty of international options also included in the full-time MBA. You can go for a full exchange semester abroad. You will find a list of our exchange school partners on our website. After the 15 months, you can also do a so-called Responsible Leaders Fellowship, which is again a kind of solo pro bono consulting project in the field of social impact. And you can also tailor-made the curriculum with the fact that there are multiple elective options that you can choose from. As mentioned previously, we do have the Career Development Center at ESMT, and I think full-time MBA students are especially lucky because they are here on campus in person quite a lot, so they can take advantage of all the resources and all the events that are happening on campus and that are provided and organized by the CDC team. There are recruitment events, different tools, resources that you can take advantage of. There are company visits, but there's also a big career fair happening on our campus every February. So there are tons of opportunities to network with possible employers. In the full-time MBA, we also offer individual career counseling, and I have to say I've heard fantastic stories from our coaches in terms of different stories that they experience with previous students, and I highly recommend to join those coaching sessions. Here you have the companies who joined us at the previous career fair, just to give you a peek. And today we focus on admissions. So of course we need to have an admission slide here at during the webinar. So what are we looking for? For sure, somebody who has good quantitative and qualitative skills alike with international outlook. As you could see, full-time MBA program in ESMT is very international. So for us, it's important that you can really work well in a diverse group. You will be also working in smaller so-called study groups. These study groups are changing throughout the 15 months. So you will have the chance to work with everybody in the cohort. Some proven teamwork skills would be nice to highlight in your application. Anything about leadership experience, or if your goals, your aims, what is the goal with the MBA? What would you like to do after graduation? So a few things what you need to apply, and we can go into this, of course, with more details with Kat during the Q&A. So of course, it's a very classic application process. We would need your CV showing your professional experience, your transcripts, certificates. The application form is completely online, so this is where you will need to fill in some essay questions and also scholarship essays if you would like to apply for any of our scholarships. There's a specific question that is already stressed on the website, so you can have a look there. We would also need two professional recommendations, some type of test score. It could be GMAT, could be GRE, but ESMT actually also has its own entry test. It's called BAT, Business Admission Test. If applicable, we would need some proof of your level of English. If you can prove, however, that you've been working in English before or studying in English, maybe then you can waive the certificate, but you just need to prove it in a certain way to our admission team. Upcoming deadlines, very, very important. The very first round deadline is on the 28th of February this year. And as you can see, if you apply early, you are also qualified for 6,000 euros of tuition awards. So I would highly, highly recommend you to look into that first deadline. There are some early bird awards, not early bird, but some awards for the second round, the third round applications as well. But those are significantly less sums that we're talking about. After round 3, we have a rolling basis in the admissions team. But of course, if you're coming from a country where a visa would be needed to enter Germany and be a student here, then we would encourage you to apply as soon as you can and start your visa application process as soon as you can. Again, scholarships are available. They are listed on the website. So if you would like to have a peek, please do that. You can also combine the scholarship with the award that is mentioned above. So that's already, I think, a pretty good deal. So I think this is what I wanted to share with you today, a few slides, and then we can already move into the Q&A bit. Here, just you have a few information about where you guys find us, where you can send us an email, give us a call. We also organize one-to-one consultations. So if you would like to have an individual one-to-one chat with somebody from our teams, then please let us know. And we do run lots of online and in-person events as well. So you are more than welcome to join. So now I will just stop sharing my screen. I try to be as quick as possible to save some time for your questions. So I will be monitoring the Q&A. If you would like to ask anything, then please do. I cannot give you audio, so please type in your questions in the Q&A bit. Kat, first question, because I receive it quite a lot, and
Okay.
I wonder what do you think about who is the ideal MBA candidate? Do we have an ideal full-time MBA candidate?
Okay. Well, hello everyone, first of all. So I'm part of the admissions team. There's a couple of colleagues with me usually. So hopefully I can answer all the questions you have. So an ideal candidate for the full-time MBA is really someone that has an international outlook. We would be looking for in the application proof that someone can have these intercultural skills, good communication skills, is at home in the world, basically. And that also has, of course, the good analytical skills, like you have mentioned, that is really the basis, the bread and butter of someone that wants to study an MBA. Someone that can think outside the box, that can prove that they can think innovatively and creatively, and someone that kind of wants to go places, of course. Having doing the MBA is an investment in yourself, and of course that should lead somewhere. And so someone that knows where they want to go and knows how the MBA can help them, that would be something we want to see in the candidate.
I see. Thank you very much. I see we already got a few questions in the Q&A, and actually somebody is already asking about exams, exam formats, and I wonder I mentioned that we do have a BAT, but it's not really well known, not as well known as GMAT or GRE. Can you maybe explain what BAT is? What is the difference? What are the similarities, if there is any?
So for the GMAT or the GRE, that probably most people know, because that's quite a lot of different business schools would ask for that kind of test. The BAT is a very similar format of it's also an admissions test for business schools, and it was particularly designed to meet our needs, the ESMT needs of its applicants. And so, therefore, it's just that a little bit less involved, as we like to say, than the GMAT or GRE. But it's also a test where you need to prove your qualitative and quantitative and analytical skills. And it's about your critical thinking. So there are questions you need to answer within a certain time frame, within 2 hours. And where we want to see that you have basically the skills to be a good MBA student in the future.
Thank you very much. And I also mentioned that there's a possibility to waive the English certificate, but how can an applicant prove that they've been working and studying in English before?
So what they can do is within the online application for the MBA, they can simply tick the option that they are either a native speaker or that they have worked in English or they have studied in English. Then, for example, if they have studied in English, then usually the transcript or the degree certificate would actually mention that the language that they were taught was English. If it is the professional experience that gives them the language skills, then ultimately it is the interview that will give us the indication whether their language skills are sufficient. So the interviewer would be kind of like the final assessor of the quality of the language, of English language. And if there would be any doubt whether the candidate can be the best student that they want to be, if their English might hold them back to be the best student that they can be, then we would say, okay, better to learn for an English language test and better be on the safe side and prove to us like that they actually do have the language skills we're looking for.
I think it's important maybe to underline that Berlin is a very international city. So even, I mean, it's really easy to navigate as an international student in English. This is also a question that I think we receive quite a lot. Do I already need to pick up some German before our studies? But again, we do have the classes in the full-time MBA. You can join evening classes, and there's also intense German boot camp during the summer. So that's certainly an option. In terms of the recommendation letters, so we have a question here in the Q&A asking, would you recommend submitting both letters from our most recent workplace, or would it be better to include one letter from our current job and another from a previous employer?
Okay, so the reference letters are really the proof of your, for example, your leadership skills, or for example, your team working ability, for your how much you excelled already in your job so far. And so therefore it would be great to have from your current employer and current boss, for example. Sometimes you work with different bosses. It could be that you have been working in your job for the last 5 years. Of course, then it's more difficult to get a reference from a previous job. Then potentially it could be the boss one up, or maybe it might be a peer that you're working really closely with, or maybe even a client. And if there has been a recent, maybe within the last year or two, a job change in your career, then it also makes sense to have a previous boss submit a reference.
Oh my God, these questions keep coming. Okay, please keep the spirit. This is also an interesting one, and this is something that we receive quite a lot. I think the admissions team as well, not just in terms of recruiting. What is the average GMAT score? The previous or the current GMAT scores for the full-time MBA?
We usually look at an average of 640, the GMAT score. So that would be a rough guideline, I guess, that you would want to aim for. Obviously, the higher the score, the better. Of course, that will make you stand out as an applicant. And also, there are scholarships attached to very high scores for the GMAT or the GRE or even our business admissions test. So if you excel at these tests and you have a very high score, you can look at on our website, and there's actually a certain award that you can get immediately if you do prove a very high score. But yeah, as I said, a 640 GMAT, and for the GRE, it would be the 160 mark that we want to see.
Another one that popped up in terms of in connection with GMAT GRE, how can I get to ESMT without GMAT GRE? Well, that's unfortunately not possible for the full-time MBA program. However, and then Kat can maybe finish my sentence. There's a possibility, but not in the full-time MBA, right?
That's right, yes. So if any of the other MBA programs you would be eligible for and you would be interested in, then, for example, our global online MBA, that is a fully flexible online program, there, as well as in the part-time MBA, you have the opportunity to apply for a waiver for one of these tests. If you do come from a STEM background, so that science, technology, engineering, math background, if you have studied a degree in that field, then you can apply for a waiver. And we as admissions managers would look through your profile and then determine whether that waiver can be given. So yes, there's that small chance that people can apply without such a test for these programs.
Since we're still talking about GMAT, GRE, there's something popped up about BAT. How much time is required to learn for the BAT roughly? What is your experience? What are applicants' experiences? As far as I know, there are at least 2 or 3 sample exams that folks can sign up for online if they're interested. So there's already something to help to prep, I believe.
That's right. We do provide prep materials, as you mentioned, those mock tests basically that they can do, which will give a really good indication of how you will behave under a stressful situation, such as the test. But the time that is involved is, we say, if you take about 4 weeks, then you should be fine to complete the business admission test. Of course, that also depends of what is your background. Do you do well generally in these kind of tests, and how much time can you invest in the preparation for these tests? But yes, on average, we would say 4 weeks should be sufficient.
Thank you. Going maybe from the technicalities a little bit to the essay questions and the application content. There are a few questions, for example, how do you prove international outlook if you have not worked outside of your own country?
So that could be, for example, when you studied, have you been involved with international students there? In your work life, are you working with international clients? Are your co-workers, is that a very international field that you're navigating? The teams that you're working within? So it can be multiple things. It doesn't have to mean that you have lived outside of your country.
And also content-wise, there are a few more things that popped up in the chat. For example, I wanted to know if an internship, training experience, full-time work post-graduation counts towards the 3 years of professional experience required.
For us, it is ideal if it was full-time work. So an internship as such, it kind of depends sometimes on the profile, and there are sometimes individual decisions that we make depending on the profile. But as a general rule of thumb, we are more looking for that full-time work post-graduation. So say, for example, you have studied a bachelor, then maybe you have done an internship, then you have done a master, and then you started working for 3 years in full-time in a company, then we would count that 3 years post-master graduation as your work experience.
Can we submit the application without the score with exams scheduled in near future and submit the score once the exam is done?
Yes, people can do that. Applicants can submit their applications without a score. It would be more ideal if the score was already in it. However, yes, we do accept that to have the application without a score. However, we only count the application as complete once we have the score. So say, for example, you would like to be considered for this first round coming up at the end of February, then we also would need your score before the 28th of February. If it would come after that, even though you have applied before the deadline, we would only be counted for the round when we actually do have your score.
Suppose a candidate applies by February 28th and completes the German language course, I guess, by the start of the program. Will she or he be entitled for the financial award that we offer at ESMT? We do have a German award, so if you were at a certain level, you already have a certain knowledge of German, that it's kind of like you're qualified or for an automatic award. How does that work with the deadlines?
Yes, so there's 2 points in time basically where you can submit your German proof of your German language knowledge. The first point in time would be at your application stage, and then when your offer is made at that point, then it would include that award. But you can also try to improve your German once you have been already offered enrollment. And then once you know basically you are coming to Germany, you will be studying at ESMT, maybe then you want to focus on your German. And then at program start, you can show us that you have improved your German, and then your offer would actually be updated with that award.
Since we're already talking about awards and scholarships, somebody is asking whether we can discuss a little bit the full-time MBA scholarships. So the information is actually on the website. So you will always see how many scholarships are available in total and what is the sum that will be deducted from the tuition fee. There's always one essay question connected to each scholarship that you need to answer in the online application form. Do you have any tips for in terms of scholarships, Kat? What are we looking for?
Well, as we mentioned, you can get as many awards as you are eligible for. So there are some automatic awards that you can just basically fall into straight away. And then there's those application-based scholarships, and you can apply for up to 3. But you would only be awarded one of those application-based scholarships. And so I would say choose wisely. Which ones do you feel you can write the best and most compelling essay for that kind of suits you the most and your profile, that you can basically make a good case for yourself and then invest in some time in writing that essay, because we do look at it and, you know, of course, the thought of ChatGPT and such programs to help you write these essays is of course big, but we are wanting to see your real personality shine through, and so therefore make it personal. Let your character shine through in these essays. That's what we would be looking for.
Thank you, Kat. I see a few questions in the Q&A that are a bit personal, connected to one's personal experience, professional experience, GRE, GMAT scores. So I think that we can encourage everybody to reach out to admissions if they have specific questions to clarify. And if they have some doubts whether your degree will be accepted, whether your transcript will be accepted, your scores, your grades, your test entry results, I think admissions is the best way to go, and my colleagues are happy to help. They do have a email address, admissions@esmt.org. If you would like to reach out, please do so. I see a few more interesting questions about the program itself. So today we have limited time, so we wanted to focus on the admission bit. But in terms of program content, the curriculum info you will find on the website and in the dedicated program brochure. But I would also encourage you to look at to have a look at our YouTube channel, because there are tons of resources there, webinar recordings, but also interviews with the current students and alumni. And I think there are lots of information in there. And there was also somebody asking about housing situation, for example. These kind of issues can be taken up with the student services team at ESMT. They are also the ones who are trying to help you to a certain extent to deal with your German student visa and residency permit and these kind of official things. Are there any application fee waivers available? Can we expect one anytime before the round one deadline?
Application fee waivers are very much an individual decision. So in generally, no, there is no blanket statement that I could give about application fee waivers. However, there have been cases where it has been given very occasionally, so it would be a matter of really getting in touch with the admissions team and letting us know why exactly it would need to be a waiver in your specific case.
At the moment, the application fee is 100 euros.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
Thank you. And yeah, somebody was asking about the tuition itself. It's 50,000 euros for the full 15 months, the full program. And this is the same amount for domestic and international students as well. So there's no difference there at all. Then maybe if we can steal your time a little bit more, Kat, a few more additional questions, but I think we're closing soon. Somebody was asking about DAAD and different other types of scholarships and how to combine scholarships. So what we can say is that they automatically awarded things such as the early bird and the test excellence award, the German excellence, the German language award. They are like basically everybody's qualified if they can prove that their stand on this. But the scholarships, I mean, it's a decision of the academic committee, and then one will be awarded, if any. So the resources where you get other sort of financial support, that's up to you. We know that there are lots of students who are also working with student loan providers in order to partially finance their studies. And we actually have a list of those providers on the website if you're interested. We work with Prodigy Finance, with Brain Capital. They do cover lots of countries. So please have a look at those. And in the end, it's your decision how to combine the different support methods. As we have quite a few questions here in the chat, I wonder, Kat, if you see something that we should definitely answer to, or that we should definitely pick. And there are lots of questions about the content. Again, please have a look at the website and check out the YouTube channel. And the individual cases, and please do reach out to admissions@esmt.org. Maybe it's something useful when I mentioned the student services team. There are a few apartments actually that ESMT is renting just around the corner. And those apartments are available for our MSc and MBA students, but of course it depends on the current availability. So if you're interested in those kind of housing options, then please reach out to the student services team. Going through your questions again, somebody was asking about the career outcomes of the full-time MBA students. You will find an employment report on the website again under career services and career support. Under the full-time MBA program, you will find a downloadable PDF where you will find a few stats about where our recent graduates are working currently, in which positions, which companies, salary information. So all those things, please check out the website. Then what are the payment terms? How is the 50,000 euros of tuition fee divided? Kat?
So first of all, once you are offered enrollment and you would like to actually accept that offer, then we would ask for a deposit payment. And so that is a deposit of 6,500 to secure your place within 4 weeks of the offer having been made. Then there is the half of the rest of the tuition would then be due at the start of the program, and then the other half a year, 6 months later. So that's how we divide our tuition fee payments.
Thank you, Kat. I'm just looking at the questions. You're very active today. Thank you very much for your active participation. It's way more interesting for us as well to have an interactive session. But again, individual cases, I think it's better to pick it up with the admission team directly. Kat, is there anything that you would like to share with applicants? Do you have any tips maybe for the online application form? Something where applicants can stand out in a way?
Well, as you already said, definitely applying earlier than later is always best, especially when it comes to international students that need to have a visa. For some countries, even there are additional steps on top of the visa that they need to complete, such as an APS, for example, for students from India, which can take quite a few months, depending on the situation of the person and the situation within the visa country. And so therefore, really informing yourself of what is needed already before even applying, looking into the APS process, for example, even before the application, to make sure what is coming towards you, what are the timeframes involved, so you can have a realistic understanding of what is coming towards you. That is something we always recommend. In terms of when to best apply, or when the latest time would be to apply for people with a visa, that need to have a visa to come into Germany and study here, is the 22nd of August would be the very latest that we would accept applications from people with visa. After that, it would only be for people that don't need a visa. And so being organized and knowing what's coming towards you is the best thing to do. In terms of the online application form, we hear over and over again that it's very straightforward, it's very self-explanatory. Any entered data is automatically saved, so you don't need to wonder where any information is going. It's all there. And so you can contact the admissions team at any point as well if there's any questions along the way. There's always admissions chats that you can book with us that are casual and where you can just ask all your questions and ask about any uncertainties.
Is there any way to reach out to students? Maybe if somebody would like to have listen to learn more about a first-hand experience and somebody who went through the full process.
Absolutely. Yes, that would be actually a great idea to hear it right from the students or even alumni for that matter. But yes, if you want to reach out to students, we do have a dedicated team of students that have put their hands up to be ambassadors basically for us. So for the marketing and for the admissions team. And you can actually reach those through a dedicated email address. That's MBA ambassador in one word at esmt.org, MBA ambassador at esmt.org. So there you can actually reach out to these ambassadors so that these are current students that can help you. And it's always good to introduce yourself, just talking a little bit about your background, where you're from, what you want to achieve, and then the right ambassador can reach out to you that can, tell you about their experience and how it was to move to Germany and what it is like to be an ESMT student.
And it's good to have already the first connection in Berlin and Germany. So I would also encourage everybody to reach out. We have fantastic students, and we really appreciate their support that they dedicate their time to get back to you. So please do that. Yes, if you have any other questions, I'm very sorry that we couldn't go through all the questions, but we already run out of time. If you have anything specific, again, admissions@esmt.org, please reach out. Please have a look at the website, at the brochure, at the employment report, sign up for our next event, in-person events, online events. There's a lot happening these days. So if there's still anything that you would like to clarify with the team, then please do send us an email. And again, we can also set up a one-to-one consultation with the admission team. So Kat, thank you very much for joining us for this session, and have a lovely rest of the day. This recording will be available later on YouTube, so you can always revisit it if you missed something. If you would like to have a look at the slides that I've shared in the very beginning, then please do that. And again, let's be in touch. Thank you, Kat, and see you around.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.